In TV history, there have been many hated characters, from Skylar White to Shal Tucker to Ramsay Bolton. But there is one that has always come up for being hated, and that's Joffrey Baratheon. Now, why is he so hated? First is the fact that all he does is evil for the sake of fun. Joffrey was based on the real-life Prince of Wales, Edward of Westminster, who, much like Joffrey's quote-unquote father, was unfit to be king. Edward was known for his quick temper and tenderness for violence at a young age, and Joffrey, as we see, is also like that, abusing Sansa throughout the show and making her look at her dad's dead head on a spike. And when a man writes a song that makes fun of Joffrey's dad, despite finding it funny, he cuts the man's tongue out, ordering the death of the former king's illegitimate babies being the worst thing he ever did. Which leads to, of course, his upbringing. We see throughout the show, Joffrey is shown to be a very spoiled child. This is most definitely due to his upbringing. His quote-unquote father being the king, his mother shown to be a very manipulative and allowing him to be very violent towards his people and his kingdom, and of course his cold-hearted nature, which allowed him to kill babies, and we later find out that he is the product of incest from his mother and father Jaime Lannister, who is shown to not care about him at all. And this disowned from his dad and his mother, allowing him to be spoiled. He grew up to be a very poor and dumb king, the biggest example killing Ned Stark, which further strained the relationship with the North and is the main reason Joffrey became so hated. And another big reason he is hated is the performance by Jack Gleeson, who is a big part of the reason Joffrey is so hated. Some of the show's best scenes are scenes with him, because of the acting, the purposely annoying voice, the arrogant smile on his face. And due to the performance, it basically was so demanding that Jack Gleeson decided to quit acting, essentially giving it his all in just 4 seasons of the show. Of course, the fact that he's in the show's best scenes or mentioned just shows how reliant they were on Joffrey. Whether it's his talk with Tywin, where he actually saw some sort of intelligence over his granddad.
Tell me about the Targaryen girl in the east and her dragons.
Where did you hear about this?
Is it true?
Apparently so.
Don't you think we ought to do something about it?
Or his infamous I am the king speech, which is so famous it's now used as an example of someone with a fragile ego. So much so that Ramsay, another character on the show, is essentially a more evil version of Joffrey, but still great in his own unique way.
I am the king! I will punish you.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king.
And his death. Now, I have never seen a death where so many people were happy to see someone die, so brutally as Joffrey did. We're at his wedding, which is supposed to be the happiest day of his life, where after drinking poisoned wine, he is brutally killed in a scene which, for any other character, you would have some sort of sympathy for. But here no one did, the only person being his mother, which of course makes sense. And his impact is still felt throughout the show. Cersei mourning for him when Tywin and Tommen discuss what makes a good king in front of Joffrey's dead corpse.
Your brother was not a wise king. Your brother was not a good king. If he had been, perhaps he'd still be alive.
Tyrion saying he wished he'd killed Joffrey, and of course the last scene with Joffrey's body, in which Jaime rapes his sister, signifying Joffrey was essentially born out of lust and not love, and showed the real reason the way he was. So there you go, the most hated villain in TV history, Joffrey Baratheon. So infamous, when you think of the word hate and TV, he will always come up and be the first to be mentioned, and will stay in pop culture for years to come.